Hello and welcome to SatoshiConomy, honest global crypto news and info, where the message is more important than the messenger. Today is Wednesday, June 26, 2019. Incredible day for Bitcoin. It's up 21% at one point, day over day, which, I mean, a 1 or 2% jump is healthy. And at one point, it almost got up to 14,000. I think it started the day about 11,000. So today, why is Bitcoin going up? That's what we'll discuss. Why is Bitcoin going up? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to surmise or sum up very briefly a bit of global history, and then I'm going to mention the birth of the Federal Reserve, and then discuss a perfect storm involving three things of world population, technology, and kind of the internet. And then I'll bring up 7 or 8 really specific points about the reason why Bitcoin has been going up and why it's going to continue to go up, mark my words. So none of what you hear here is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but it is meant as information to help you, to assist you to make just to be better informed so you can make a better decision for yourself financially. So having said that, listen up. So kind of some of global history from the past. It was about the 1700s when bankers realized that if they say, "Here, park your money here, or your valuables here, and we'll give you these paper notes, so you can keep track, or it'll be an exchange of real value. But you can use those at the market." And what they realized that none of the people, I mean, a very, very few amount of people would ever come back to get their money. Oh, by the way, I'm here. All I can hear is water. Well, there's some of the sounds of the city here, but sitting by the riverside here is awesome. We got a paddle boat that just landed over there with I guess they go for about an hour or 2 hour cruise. Earlier this evening I was over by where that tower is. That's a mill, a former mill. It's a restaurant now. They have good coffee and bevies over there, and they have a game. It's called Bags. Some people, it's also known as cornhole. Awesome game. But why is Bitcoin going up? So the bankers realized that people will never, I mean, a vast majority, 90% of them will never come back for all their money. In other words, they'll never go solvent if they keep on lending out like 10 times of what they have. If they had, say, $1 million, they could lend out 10 million. It's the idea which birthed the fractional reserve banking industry. Now, in America, there was a group of bankers that met off the coast of Georgia in about 1910 over the course of 9 days. And this is all documented and public information now, but they altogether, it's reported or estimated that these bankers had a total of about a quarter of the world's wealth. Just incredible amount. And they devised a plan for what is now known as the Federal Reserve Bank, and were able to get the law passed on December 23rd, 2013, and the Federal Reserve Bank was born. And it's a fractional reserve banking system where they can lend out 10 times what is on their books, and then charge interest on all 10. If they have $1 million, then they can charge interest on 10 million. And it's a debt-based system where money is born, like a dollar is born, and it's only worth 94 cents. Fast forward to today, and every single sovereign nation on earth has a central banking. The Federal Reserve is a central bank, and every single nation on earth has a central banking system except for Cuba, I think Iran. There's a third one, it eludes me. There's only 3 nations on earth that don't have a central banking system. So what is baked into the ingredients is debt and inflation. So prices will continue to go up and up and up. Where cars used to be, say, $2,000, now they're, $30, $40, $50. Even kind of a low model or a basic model is still over $20,000 pretty much. Wages have also gone up, but since 2008, it's been a losing battle. Prices have outpaced wages, and of course that's why we see so much struggle, such a greater amount of homelessness and civil unrest all over the place. Hong Kong, France, I think has 33 weeks straight where the people are coming out en masse, right in downtown streets of Paris and protesting the Yellow Vest movement. There's hyperinflation down in Venezuela, like 85,000% annually. Some people are saying it's 1 million, or I know there's a well-known economist who can equate it to. Well, the point is, I heard it said that a jar of sand down there is worth more than the Venezuelan bolivar, and I've seen pictures of where the bolivar is literally windswept in the streets. So there is, when you think of all of these things, And then you come to a perfect storm of population on Earth. It's about 7.5 billion people. And in 1950, the population of the Earth was 2.5 billion. So in 67 years, by 2017, the population was estimated at 7.5 billion. So it took millennia for the world to get to 2.5 billion, then only 67 years to gain 5 billion. And then when you enter in the reality of the internet being birthed, and with so much more information being disseminated to the masses, there's so much more knowledge of things like the Federal Reserve and central banking and the debt-based design. I mean, inflation is designed into it. Debt is designed into it. There's no way they'll ever be able to pay off the debt. It has an end game of failure. Every single historical fiat currency that has been systematized, that has been around, has failed. And in 2000, I'll back up a little bit. So population, technology, and then the internet, specifically with it being the availability of mobile phones. And then you enter in Bitcoin, which is electric money on the internet that is asset-based. And what is happening all over the world is people are realizing that this is, with every passing month over the last 10 years, and especially since 2016 and the $20,000 price of Bitcoin, it almost reached 20,000 in January of 2018, that it really got, instead of power elites trying to stomp on it or keep the popularity of this competing currency down, they were unable to keep the popularity down. And the natural fact is that money is money, and people will gravitate towards systems that will earn them money as opposed to systems that are failing. So no matter what any sovereign powers were able to do as far as keeping this juggernaut down, they realize that they're not going to be able to stop it. I mean, even today there are systems that are being developed with satellite technology and ham radios, so that even if the internet goes down, people will still be able to transact Bitcoin. I understand that's up and running already, but with the onset of so many of the large valued companies developing the technology for themselves and getting into the action, it's just furthering the adoption. I think there's about 15 million people on Earth right now who are buying up Bitcoin. Supply and demand right now, obviously today, there's a huge buying spree. People are, the supply of it is diminishing. I want to just mention, I wrote down some things here about some of the specifics. Pardon my distraction here I have kind of a loss of light, but we have factors like, with Facebook Libra coming on board. Really what people saw, I mean, that's kind of a corporate money. We have the dollar, renminbi, yuan, British pound sterling, sovereign currencies, the yen. Those are government currencies. Then you have the Libra coin, which I think is what they're going to call it. That is like a corporate currency. And then you have Bitcoin, which is the people's currency. And just today I heard news that there was the International Monetary Fund had three countries come to them. They were Afghanistan, Tunisia, and Uzbekistan, saying that, hey, they want to start creating Bitcoin bonds. So this is getting into this. Wow, one reason why Bitcoin is going up. The Nasdaq is going to offer Bitcoin futures that'll launch in the first half of 2019. We've got Fidelity, which that's a $7 trillion fund. They're going to be offering crypto to their customers. That'll be, I think, that'll be opening up within weeks here. TDAmeritrade, another huge company, they'll be launching a crypto exchange. That'll be, I believe, in July. We've got a company called BAKKT. It's a word that is it's to denote backing, but there's a CEO named Mr. Jeffrey Sprecher who owns the Intercontinental Exchange, also known as ICE. He also owns the New York Stock Exchange. He's going to be launching BAKKT in July, and they'll be offering Bitcoin futures trading. Ledger X just got Commodities and Futures Trading Commission, the CFTC, to give them a license for physically traded Bitcoin futures to be very liquid. We've got the Jamaican Stock Exchange is going to be offering Bitcoin. There's the German Stock Exchange is going to be offering Bitcoin. This was cool. The Rockefellers have it might be a family fund. I'm not quite sure. You can Google it, but it's a fund called Ven Rock. They have announced that they are going to be buying cryptos. So after all the pleading and begging, we'll continue to plead and beg people. look, this is not funny money anymore. I mean, it never was. It's the hardest money ever in the history of mankind. It's designed by mathematical equation. It is truly I know for many people it might be difficult to understand how there can be true value in digits or on the internet, but it's for real. The main thing we need for value is for people to have confidence or for people to use something. And there is, I think, 15 million people who are using it or buying it up. Coinbase, the largest exchange in the USA, has, they say, 30,000 or 30 million subscribers. But when I say 15 million people are buying up crypto right now, these are not mom and pops. These are all of these corporations that I just mentioned to you. They have to have, for them to offer Bitcoin futures or to offer the purchasing of Bitcoin to their customers, they have to have Bitcoin on hand. And this is what's going on right now, is these companies are buying Bitcoins. And there is a phenomenon called Bitcoin halvening, which is going to happen approximately May 22nd. They've got it down to the hour. I think it's 10:30. I don't know if it's morning or afternoon, but what will happen, see right now, there's every 10 minutes a block is mined or produced, and there's 12 and a half Bitcoins that are rewarded to the miners for taking their time and making it. It's just an extreme, massive computational nightmare or just a huge problem to solve. But every 10 minutes, there's 12.5 Bitcoins that are birthed into the economy. At present, there have been 17.8 million Bitcoins mined. Of those, between 4 and 6 million have just disappeared because people have lost the private keys. Now, most of this happened in the early days when Bitcoins were less than a penny or less than 10 cents. But there's probably even that's all available potentially in the market right now with 18 mined, 5 million lost. So that leaves, there's only 13 million that are available. So on May 22nd, 2020, that rate of production every 10 minutes is going to be cut in half from 12.5 to 6.25 Bitcoin will be produced every 10 minutes. And all the way up until the year 2140, yes, 2140, there'll be the rate at which they're produced is going to diminish. So you put all these factors together that I've mentioned: global history of debt-based economies, fractional reserve banking, and how the populace is waking up through just sheer numbers and technology in their hands, and with the creation of the internet and then Bitcoin, and just that whole technology of blockchain technology, which is really saving a lot of corporations money. The long and short of it is, hey, get some while you can, because you're going to be sad. It is relatively simple. I don't recommend necessarily Coinbase, but it's the easiest way for Americans to get on. You got to give your picture, ID, name, rank, and serial number, all that. But you can transfer money, get a bank hooked up, and they need that information to guard against what's called AML, anti-money laundering, and it's required that in America anybody who sells it has to know their client. But it's all good. But here, get some. So those are some of the reasons why Bitcoin is continuing to go up. Please click on the blue planet there. Yeah, really appreciate it. You can take get in on the party, and I would really, really appreciate you subscribing to get the word out to more people, so that less people will be sorry. Hashtag love all, serve others, and just get out and get some fresh air, enjoy the weather, and spread the word. And until next time, peace.